Thank you, Chair Crawford and Ranking Member Norton, for holding this hearing today. It is a welcome opportunity to highlight how federal dollars are benefiting our communities, spurring transportation and infrastructure projects in every single congressional district that are creating jobs and driving economic growth. My message is simple today. There are great benefits to infrastructure funding, there are early results to the bipartisan infrastructure law, and there is more to come. You cannot have a big league economy with little league infrastructure. In last Congress, this committee answered the call of the states, of local and tribal governments, of industry and other stakeholders, several of whom are on the panel today, that an aging, congested, and overburdened transportation network was badly in need of overhaul. And thanks to the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, or BIL, communities across the country are building better roads, bridges, transit stations, freight facilities, truck parking, bike lanes, and sidewalks. Transportation means jobs. Good family wage jobs that cannot be outsourced. These are private sector construction and engineering jobs on projects scoped and selected by state and local governments with required local public input. Thanks to the BIL, we have updated decades-old federal transportation policies to reflect economic, societal, and workforce needs. And thanks to the BIL, communities are building a cleaner, greener, safer, and more accessible transportation network. Congress didn't make this up. We followed the lead of states, cities, counties, and tribes across the country who have been hard at work to modernize and to transform the way people and goods move. Now, this committee's job is to oversee implementation of the $660 billion under the U.S. Department of Transportation. This dollar amount and the number of competitive grant opportunities is significantly larger than previous transportation bills the DOT has administered. It represents the largest increase in federal highway investment since the late 1950s. The pace at which these dollars are reaching communities is impressive. A total of $200 billion has been made available from all the initiatives funded in the BIL, even those outside the scope of this committee, and DOT has issued the lion's share. DOT has already made available nearly $125 billion in formula funds to states for highways and bridges, including funding 21% of my own state's transportation budget that passed the legislature last year. To date, more than 3,700 bridge projects have launched. States supported 36,400 new projects with federal highway formula funding through January 2023, according to the analysis by ARTBA today is another one of those accomplishments. There's at least one new project underway in every congressional district in this country. ARTBA as well provided a summary to every member of the subcommittee on what's happening in your district. You know your district's best, but this information will help you know it even better. I encourage my colleagues to review that information. Thanks to the BIL, in my own district, WashDOT is investing nearly $12 million in federal aid highway funds to rehabilitate the SR 529 Snohomish River Bridge in Everett. You don't need to know where it is, you just need to know the money's getting spent. Thanks to the BIL, US DOT has awarded $25 million raised grants to Whatcom County to replace a 60-year-old Lummi Island ferry into the city of Linwood to construct a new 6-lane multimodal bridge over I-5, which will reduce congestion and build a more accessible transportation system for all. The BIL has also invested in more than 3,000 workforce projects across the country to train workers for in-demand jobs. There's more to come. The BIL will boost the U.S. economy, increase our domestic manufacturing base, and make our supply chains more resilient. And we still have more work to do. And I will continue to maintain regular communication with the administration. I'll continue to work with Chair Graves, Chair Crawford, Ranking Member Norton, and all of you to ensure a robust and fair oversight of these implementation efforts. It's critical that we get implementation of the BIL right. A successful rollout of BIL funding will truly demonstrate the value of infrastructure investment to everyone. And the BIL is not a set it and forget it law. We now need to follow through by Congress, state DOTs, US DOTs, cities, counties, transit agencies, tribal governments, private industry, all of us working together to deliver these projects so communities get the maximum bang for the buck. Without investments made by the BIL, the economy would be in far worse shape. To critics who want to brush off benefits of the BIL, I point you to testimony today from Paula Hammond. As it correctly notes, even with inflation taken into account, and inflation is a problem, there still has been market growth over the last year in the construction sector, whereas without the BIL, we'd likely have seen market contraction. So I'm glad to say it, thanks to the BIL, the economy is on the move, but that's why we need to continue to see the implementation of the BIL happens. And I look forward to working with all of you to make sure that happens. And with that, I yield back.